Well, like it or not, as we get older, one of the things that fades is our hearing. But technology has changed so much that hearing aids, they aren't what they used to be. They aren't your mama's hearing aids, is what I'm trying to say. Brian Emery, he is a hearing instrument specialist and owner of Emery Hearing Centers. And we're here to talk about hearing loss and the new technology. And first of all, I want to welcome you to Sonoran Living.
Thank you. Good to be here.
It's good to have you because this is such a subject. It's a touchy subject.
It is.
And one of the things I think it's important to understand is that hearing loss can actually affect our health. You told me that, and that blows my mind. What do you mean by that?
Well, it can. You know, over the last few years, we've learned a lot of additional things about hearing loss. There have been studies performed by Johns Hopkins linking hearing loss with dementia.
Wow.
If you're predisposed to Alzheimer's, it can accelerate the process. And then, you know, the things that we've known that are related to hearing loss for many years, like depression. I mean, you can't interact with your friends and family properly anymore, and you become a bit of an introvert. So.
Yeah, you have a tendency to withdraw and
Right.
not engage in conversation.
Right.
And we're talking about hearing loss in general, and it's not just for elderly people.
No, not at all.
And I shared with you, my son has experienced hearing loss from being in the military,
Right.
being in the infantry, and he's not wearing his hearing aid because he's embarrassed to.
Right.
So tell me about this technology. I mean, it's so advanced that anybody could wear a hearing aid and nobody's ever going to know.
Right. So one of the big things that manufacturers have been spending a lot of money on, there are several things, treatment of tinnitus, which the VA, that's actually their leading cause of disability claims. Some other things, when you're talking about size, we can actually build equipment now that not only does it go into the ear, it goes past the first bend in the ear canal, so it's completely invisible.
So like that picture on the right, is there a hearing aid in his ear?
There is, yeah.
That's amazing.
And they're getting smaller and more comfortable and more complex every day.
Now, let's talk about the cost and the care, first of all. Let's talk about the cost. It's simply, for a lot of people, not covered by most insurances, right? So how can people afford to get a hearing aid?
Well, that is changing to a degree. A lot of insurance companies are starting to step up, and there are, more things that are going into place, but the majority, it still is a private pay type situation. The most important part is getting sound back into the ear. So even if you can't afford a top of the line piece of equipment, from a health standpoint, we can, we have more reasonable options that, it may not have all the bells and whistles, but, a pair of hearing aids, you can get them now for under $1,000 for a pair. So,
really?
Yeah.
Really? And it's kind of like that old adage, use it or lose it. And
That's
if you're
exactly
not
right.
using your hearing, then you're right, things will start to deteriorate.
Right.
So let's talk about the size and of the hearing aids now. We just saw that one that goes like way deep in. This is a different style here.
It is.
And what is it about this hearing aid? Who would choose a hearing aid like this and why?
Well, this is more for your noise exposure type of hearing loss, like your younger crowd, like we were talking about. Your son would probably be a candidate for something like this.
Yeah, I think he has one kind of like that.
Yeah. So this allows sound to pass through the ear naturally, and then we just augment in areas. It results in not feeling so plugged up whenever you're wearing the hearing aid.
Okay.
So different hearing losses, we're going to have things stacked up against us in some cases, but we can overcome a lot of that just through proper selection of equipment.
So in helping select the right equipment, you have a 30-day trial period.
We do.
Why is that important?
Well, just about everybody here, especially here in Phoenix, they almost always give you 30 days where they can actually put the product out. If you're not satisfied with it, you bring it back and they'll refund a portion of your money, if not all of your money. We actually take that one step further, and we will let you try the equipment for a month.
Wow.
Without any kind of payment. You basically sign saying you have it. If you're not satisfied, you bring it back.
Wow.
No harm, no foul.
Well, and once you realize what you've been missing,
That's
right?
exactly right.
It's huge. It's huge. You know what? Really good information. I learned a lot from you today, so thank you very much, Brian. And I want to tell you about Emery Hearing Center. They have 3 Valley locations to choose from, and Brian just shared with me earlier, a 4th is on its way, and of course that's in about a month or so. The address is right there on your screen. If you're in the East Valley in Mesa, you can call 480-556-1756, and for the West Valley, Peoria, area, Sun City area, Sun City West, call 623-792-7151. And this is the special offer. If you call Emory Hearing Centers right now, they are going to provide you with a new pair of hearing aids that you can try, as Brian said, for free for 30 days. For more information, you could also visit them online at emoryhearingcenters.com. Thank you, Brian.